Tiruchendurai. It's a small village on the banks of Kaveri, on the southern bank, as a matter of fact, about 11 kilometers from Tiruchirappalli, also known as Trichy. Now, if you cross Kaveri in one of the bridges, you get to this famous temple called Srirangam, and that's on the northern banks of Kaveri. What has happened in Tiruchendurai? What has happened is Rajagopal, who had the records of ownership, he has what is called as a record. This is given by the Revenue Department of Tamil Nadu, and he owned a parcel of land, and that he bought in 1992. And then he goes to transfer it to somebody else for a sum of say 20 lakhs. You have all the details in the 4 or 5 references I'm providing in the description section. So do read those things up to get the full picture of what is going on. Now, when he goes to the registrar's office, he is told that the particular property that he has is owned by Tamil Nadu Wakf Board, and that he will have to get a no objection certificate from them in order to do the transaction. There's a problem here. If he says that, okay, I will go and get the NOC and then sell it, then you are implicitly saying that, yes, the Tamil Nadu Wakf Board is the owner of this land. But how does Tamil Nadu Wakf Board lay claim to this? This is where things get very interesting. So I'm going to share a small slide presentation with you. This is a Tiruchendurai temple. It's a very famous temple. It's in fact, if you go along the banks of Kaveri, you're going to see a lot of these thalas, which which flourished during all the different kings when there was not much marauding or invasions from the north. And this is where the Carnatic music flourished. This is where most of the arts, the Vedas, all these things flourished. So it is now suddenly under attack. It's no coincidence, guys. Every time the Dravida Munnetra Kazhagam or the DMK government comes to power, there's always a new novel way to grab land. So what has happened is that the Tamil Nadu Wakf Board, which is supposed to be a government body, has sent a notification of 250 line items saying that all these properties are TN Wakf Boards, and that anyone wanting to sell or buy here, they need to get the no objection certificate. Now, the question here that comes is, how does the TN Wakf Board prove that it owned this? What is the ownership? Now, if somebody has already registered something in 1992, how can the TN Wakf Board's ownership precede that? If it is indeed before that, then why did it not object at that point? So all these questions start coming up. Now, what it is saying is, this is really the strange part. If you look at 570, and I'm going to zoom in on this, if you look at 570, it says that Qari Mohyuddin Khan Waqf has the entire village as an inam or a grant. Inam is a grant. By whom? And what is the proof for that? And what if there was something even before that? So there are people in these areas who have lived for a long time. Again, there are many who have also left. So what is this new dispute coming up? Is this the minority's way of trying to say that you try and get temple land, we are going to go and enforce our rights to many of these properties, where the burden of proof is important here. If you are going to say, I own this land, then you have to show why you own this land and also explain why you never insisted on a no objection certificate in the prior sale deeds. So there is a lot of questions that are being asked. So the first time this appeared was in Dinamalar on the 6th of September. And from here on, it has really taken off and people are really concerned, because now what is coming is, in many places, not just in the district of Trichy, but in many places, even in and around Chennai, this particular document is being quoted and saying your property is under dispute. You cannot just like that go and deal with this. So there is this kind of a announcement for people saying that you cannot do or buy or sell property in specific areas. So what is one to make of this? Where does this go and end? I have some recollections of how things are playing out in Hyderabad. Remember, there was police action in 1948, and after that, Hyderabad became a fully integrated part of the Union of India. And after that, the last Nizam demitted, and he was like something like a governor, if you will, until Hyderabad got absorbed into a newly formed state called Andhra Pradesh. I don't want to go into all those details, but it is believed that the last Nizam had 67 wives. And all of them, when this whole empire collapsed, everybody was fighting for the small morsels that were left around, which was sort of like their property. And the Wakf Board was the one that was supposed to mediate all these things. And it is my belief that many of those things, even to this day, remain unsolved. So this is not an easy mess to solve. It is a quagmire, if you ask me. But how is it that up until now nothing happened, and suddenly a document emerges out of nowhere, and DMK starts enforcing it from sometime in 2021, and now suddenly everybody is now made aware of, oh, you better check if your particular transaction land parcel is under this or not. So the High Court needs to quickly move in and rule on this. My 2 cents on some things like this is, you don't go and just take one document and stop there. You need to go further back. I believe that there was an Inam register that the British maintained in 1874 that at least will pave way for a lot of properties of the temples. So here is the other problem that might happen. Fine, if Waqf's property ownership of this is settled, then what about all the temples on which mosques have come up, churches have come up? What about the 99-year lease of church property that used to be belonging to government? The government has never evicted them out. Would they also not have to be done? See, this is where this majority-minority thing starts kicking in. You can't have the law, one law for one section of the people and another law for the others. So this is going to be a big mess. This is just the beginning. I want you to follow us for the latest updates on this, because we are trying to get to the bottom of the matter and give you the facts. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to click on the bell button for notifications. Namaskar. Thank you.